coming up in the Mindvalley Academy, we have a special online training with the one and only Christie Marie Sheldon, who's one of our most popular trainers and teachers who come on the Mindvalley Academy. Christie's unique gift is that she can help people identify subconscious blocks that are holding them back from living the best version of their lives. Now, you could have subconscious blocks holding you back from love, from happiness, from health, but one of the biggest subsets of these blocks is abundance. So in this online training, Christie is going to show you a way to go deep within yourself and remember and understand how through childhood, particular blocks may have entered your subconscious, and to see how these blocks are holding you back today and how to eliminate these blocks. It's a really powerful training, and that's why whenever we bring Christie Marie Sheldon on, we always break records in terms of the number of people who show up for these online trainings. I want to share with you a personal story of how Christie has helped me overcome one of my biggest abundance blocks. And what's interesting about this story is I'm not just going to show you the result. I actually filmed a video of my conversation with Christie almost 4 years ago when I was doing this particular coaching session with her. So you can see exactly what we were talking about 4 years ago and how in a relatively short amount of time, what I was complaining about, the issue I was having, has now completely disappeared from my life. So here's what happened. 4 years ago, I had a session with Christie Marie Sheldon. Now, Christie made me see a particular abundance block I had, and I didn't know it was a block. I thought it was just a normal, valid fear. I believed that I should not grow my company. I should not build it up because it would take away my freedom. And so I had a decent-sized company, maybe around 40, 50 employees, but I didn't want to get any bigger. And so I was capping that growth. I had a son. I didn't want to be one of those dads who work 10-hour days growing a company. We all know how stressful that can be. Now, when I sat down with Christie, she made me see that all of these were judgments that I had about the world, about being an entrepreneur, about money, about time. None of these were true. They were simply beliefs I had about the world, but Christie showed me that if I continued believing them, it would be true for me. So when you see this session, you'll see that initial conversation with Christie and how I expressed my fears about growing the company, hiring more people, losing my freedom. And that's really interesting because I just experienced Christie doing, for lack of a better word, a reading on me. And she picked up on things about me and my business and the way I view things, which you would not normally have known. And at certain points, I was kind of dumbstruck. And she was able to pick up on points about my beliefs in terms of wealth, abundance, the way I view my business, the way I view employees, and things holding me back. And again, most of these things you would have no way of knowing. So for me, it was kind of weird seeing you pick up on these personal things I don't normally even share with my closest friends. But you were right in many ways, and you were able to point out certain aspects of how I view the world that was, to some degree, limiting the growth of my business. And as a result, the amount of money I was taking back home.
Okay, so it's in your heart. There's a core belief that I can't be on my own and make more than X amount of money. So you do have a belief about that. Now, there's a stuck place from your heart to your root. Like our root is how we ground ourselves into the world and make things happen. That says I'm personally responsible to so many people. And there's a place where you don't like being responsible to over a certain amount of people. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's just clear that. If you're going to grow a big business, you need to be responsible.
That's true, because I have 40 employees and we really care about them, and it's a lot of responsibility. And I worry about something happening and I can't take care of them and pay their salaries. As you can see, that was 4 years ago. I looked different and so did Christie. What's interesting is I forgot about that conversation. But 3 months later, something interesting happened. We started growing the company. I remember in June that year, we ended up hiring 12 people. That was a record. We'd never hired that many new people before. But that hiring rate grew. We began growing and growing and growing into what is now 200 people. And that fear which I had completely disappeared. It was interesting. When I look at that video, I don't recognize that man talking to Christie. That fear is so removed from me that I cannot even relate to it. It's a distant memory. It's hard for me to even remember having that fear. That's how removed that block was. But I know it happened. I know that conversation happened because we captured it on film. So that was what Christie was able to do for me. And since then, she's probably been one of the coaches I work with most. And she, more than anyone else, has helped me expand my abundance in ways I could never have dreamed about. So imagine what she can do for you when you show up for this free online training on the Mindvalley Academy. Now, it's not just me. Christie has helped tens of thousands of other people. Below this video, we share some of the incredible stories that have come to us from fellow members of the Mindvalley Academy like you who have signed up for these trainings, who have enrolled in Christie Marie Sheldon's Unlimited Abundance courses. And just read these case studies because some of them are so absolutely mind-blowing. But when you read them, you begin to understand what is possible for you too. So I'll see you on this online training.